Welcome everyone to KeyWestTourist.com's Key West Uncovered, the podcast where we celebrate the flavors, festivities, and unforgettable faces of island life. I'm your host and Key West concierge, Claire, here to make you feel right at home in paradise. There's always something special happening on this island, day or night. Let's jump right in with the excitement of it all.
Hey folks, Brad here, unofficial co-captain of this ship and always ready for some new adventures whenever I'm down here. Claire, you and I both know Key West is known for some of the wildest and most welcoming celebrations in the Sunshine State, but I hear it's especially electrifying this January. Enlighten me. What's first on the docket?
It's been off the charts this month. We've got runners, sailors, music lovers, foodies, truly a bit of everything. For starters, the Key West Half Marathon and 5K, also known as the annual Run Fest, is drawing athletes from all over. There's something addictive about running through palm-lined streets with the breeze off the Atlantic, not to mention the bragging rights of beating winter weather by setting a personal record in the sunshine. After all, you can't top those ocean views.
I'm no marathon runner, but I love the atmosphere that big races bring. There's this crazy energy whenever thousands of people gather to challenge themselves. Plus, I heard something about medals with cheeky names. What's the story there?
Yes, there's the Big Pecker Challenge for folks who want to tackle the 5K, 10K, and half marathon. Talk about a fitness trifecta. That one comes with a super fun medal to flash around later at one of our local bars. There's also the Lil Pecker Challenge for a slightly lighter schedule, 5K, 8K, and 10K. From what I've heard, people go for these just as much for the bragging rights as the run itself. And they just added an 8K this year, so you can pick your poison. I love it because everyone's so enthusiastic. Even if you're not running, the sidelines are full of folks cheering, music blasting, drinks flowing, you name it.
Sounds like a blast. As soon as those runners cross the finish line, they can join the rest of us in all the other high-energy events this island's got going on. I saw a bunch of sailboats out near the reefs. That's some kind of regatta?
That's the Southernmost Regatta. You want to talk about some of the most stunning waters you'll ever see? Key West is prime. The regatta brings elite sailing teams from all over to compete. If you've never been out on the ocean watching those vibrant sails flicker in the sunlight, you have to catch a glimpse. It's a whole new angle of island living. The adrenaline of the races, the camaraderie, the cocktails on the docks afterwards. Even if you're just watching from shore, you'll find yourself cheering for a team you randomly picked 5 minutes earlier.
I love that. And I'm guessing the party scene is fierce once the regatta teams roll back in. But Claire, my ears perked up when I heard music festival. A friend mentioned something called Mile Zero Fest. I'm a huge fan of red dirt and Americana music, so that's right up my alley.
Oh, Mile Zero Fest is paradise for Americana enthusiasts. 5 nights of bands, singer-songwriters, and an overall laid-back island vibe. You have these top-notch musicians doing intimate sets around town, and because it's Key West, you might bump into them at the bar later that evening. It's got that boutique festival feel. No massive crowds, just a ton of great music and a sense of connection. Everybody's floating from one venue to the next.
I love that personal vibe. Feels like you can just chat with the performers over a beer if you time it right. Now, if all this festival hopping works up an appetite, I know Key West is famous for killer seafood and Cuban-influenced flavors. But this month, there's a specific festival that blends world-class dining with wine pairings, if I recall correctly.
You're talking about the Key West Food and Wine Festival, and it's a feast for all 5 senses. Imagine strolling to different tastings, sipping bold wines, sampling fresh local catches, and then diving into creative fusion dishes that capture the island's spirit. And it's not just fancy dinners. They host these funky events too, like wine pairing with quirky foods or casual sampling at waterfront hangouts. You get a deeper sense of Key West's culinary story, from mom-and-pop kitchens to fine dining establishments.
Sign me up. Nothing beats the smell of salty air and a crisp glass of something delicious in hand. Now, I also heard something about a show at the Tennessee Williams Theater. Something comedic involving a certain change, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. Menopause The Musical 2, Cruising Through the Change, is hitting the stage. If you've never seen the original, it's this tongue-in-cheek production that spins the challenges of menopause into a humorous, heartfelt ride. And now the sequel brings an even bigger boatload of parodies. 70s, 80s, 90s hits, reimagined to capture the hot flashes, mood swings, and sisterhood that emerges along the way. It's so relatable and uplifting. Even guys in the audience crack up because the comedic timing is just that good. And you get tickets for as little as $35, so it's a no-brainer for a fun night out.
That's definitely a curveball. From half marathons to menopause musicals, Key West has me both thrilled and slightly bewildered. But hey, that's what this town is all about, mixing it up every single day. You know, I've been a Melissa Etheridge fan for years. Heard she's got a new docuseries on Paramount Plus, and rumor has it she's performing around here soon.
Totally. She's at the Key West Theater on her 2025 tour. Etheridge is launching this new project called I'm Not Broken, which is a docuseries plus a live album recorded at a correctional facility. Talk about raw, powerful stuff. She's also giving back through the Etheridge Foundation, so part of every ticket sale goes to support innovative treatments for opioid use disorder. I love how she channels her personal battles and experiences into her music. You leave the show feeling this genuine sense of hope and resilience.
She's always been fearless, both musically and personally. That's a bucket list experience for me, hearing her perform I'm the Only One live in an intimate venue. I also saw that Ben Harrison is taking the stage there. I'm not as familiar with him, but I've heard he's something of a Key West staple.
Legend, my friend. Ben Harrison is like the quintessential Key West storyteller. Musician, playwright, historian, comedian, all rolled into one. He can spin local lore into the funniest, most engaging show you've ever seen, weaving in songs about the island's past and his own experiences. He's performed everywhere, from The Howard Stern Show to NPR's This American Life. And he's got this Baroom troubadour aura. By the time you leave, you feel like you know half the people he sang about.
I might need a front row seat then. It's fascinating how Key West can be so small yet brimming with creativity. And it's not just big-name acts, is it? There's a local music scene that's alive 24/7. You can wake up, get brunch, and hear someone jam out at midday.
Absolutely. You'll find music at all hours. Places like Sloppy Joe's, Hog's Breath Saloon, the Schooner Wharf Bar, Irish Kevin's, they host musicians from morning till late. On any given Friday, you can catch a mid-morning set with someone like Rolando Rojas or Jonathan Williams. Then fast forward to evening, where you'll find jazz trios, rock bands, comedic acts, you name it. The vibe is so relaxed, you can wander up and down Duval Street, pausing wherever the beat calls you in.
I notice the schedules are jam-packed. People like Randy Roberts do these extraordinary cabaret-style shows. I heard there's no lip-syncing, just all live vocals. That's got to be a highlight, especially if you're into drag performances.
Oh yes, Randy Roberts is epic. He does Cher, Bette Midler, you name it, but it's his own comedic brilliance that truly steals the show. One of the best things about this town is how welcoming it is. Everyone's here to have fun, to let loose, to cheer each other on. Whether you're into drag performances or prefer a mellow acoustic set, you'll find your groove easily. Key West's nightlife is a treasure chest of styles.
Which is why I keep coming back. I also love how during the day you can shift gears and do something totally different, like exploring a piece of history. Maybe check out the Ernest Hemingway home or some hidden gem in Bahama Village. By the way, is that lighthouse and keeper's quarters as neat as it looks from the outside?
It's one of my all-time favorite stops. The Key West Lighthouse was built in the mid-1800s, back when these reefs were the bane of mariners. The museum inside is a tribute to the keepers who dedicated their lives to guiding ships safely. If you climb the 88 steps up, you get one of the best panoramic views of the entire island and up to 15 miles out to sea on a clear day. The keeper's quarters is fully restored with fascinating exhibits, old photos, diaries. Those personal stories give you goosebumps. It's right near the Hemingway home, so you can do both in one afternoon. And the property's a lovely spot for an event if you ever wanted a historic setting for a wedding or a party.
Now that I think about it, there's nothing like topping off a bit of local history with some fresh food. And I know you are a walking encyclopedia of where to eat. I've got brunch on my mind, Give me some tips.
Bagatelle on Duval Street is your go-to for brunch that feels downright decadent. Picture an 1800s house-turned restaurant with breezy balconies and charming decor. They do a daily brunch until 4 p.m., which is awesome if you've had a late night. Their deep-fried French toast is this crispy, syrupy creation, and the lobster mac and cheese, don't get me started. Plus, they host 2 happy hours, a morning breakfast hangover happy hour, and then one in the late afternoon for those who need a second wind.
Deep-fried French toast. I might not leave once I get there. Maybe I should find a hotel right next to it. Though I do hear the Gates Hotel is an experience in itself, from a friend who stayed there recently. What's the vibe?
The Gates Hotel is slick. They've got this modern tropical design that still feels very old Key West at heart. There's a pool scene that's not too rowdy but definitely fun, with palm trees swaying overhead. One cool perk is their on-site food truck, the Blind Pig, serving up local tapas-style snacks right by the pool. And Rum Row is the bar there. Think Prohibition-era cocktails, specialty rums, and a distillery partnership that ensures you're sipping some unique concoctions. They're also pet-friendly, so if you come with your 4-legged buddy, they'll be treated like royalty.
That is my kind of place. A little class, a little quirky personality, perfect for fueling up before a night out. But after all that, I'll eventually want to drink at sunset, somewhere I can watch the sky turn cotton candy pink over the water. Any suggestions for that picture-perfect golden hour?
Sunset Pier is calling your name. It's part of the Ocean Key Resort and Spa, and it's got one of the most enviable spots on the waterfront. You can plop down on a stool, order a rum runner, featured on the Food Network, by the way, and watch the sun dip into the ocean. They have live music pretty much every evening, so you get the trifecta of scenic view, good food, and breezy tunes. The seafood platter's a big hit, loaded with crab claws and tuna poke. Sometimes you'll hear steel drums, other nights it's island rock. This weekend is Chick Fest, the 4th annual Southernmost Female Singer-Songwriter Showcase, hosted by Erica Sunshine Lee. It never disappoints.
A rum runner in one hand, a sunset in front of me. Perfection. Now I can't forget, whenever I come down, I need to bring back something delicious, or my friends back home will mutiny. What about that Eaton Street seafood market I keep hearing about? I'm told their lobster rolls are next level.
Eaton Street Seafood Market is indeed the local gem for all things ocean fresh. Their Key West pink shrimp is always sweet and delicate. The lobster rolls are meaty with that perfect balance of buttery goodness, and the fish sandwiches can be grilled or blackened to your preference. They also do crab cakes and conch strips, great for snacking while you wander around. If you can't get enough, you can order online and have it shipped. They'll pack it up so you can bring the taste of Key West to your own kitchen later on. Plus, they have caviar, smoked fish, and various specialties if you're feeling fancy.
I wouldn't have guessed I'd find caviar on this funky little island. But Key West has a way of surprising people. This place is an entire mood, colorful, artsy, unhurried, yet ready to throw a party at a moment's notice. And with all the upcoming festivals, half-marathons, musicals, and free-flowing cocktails, I feel like the entire month is a celebration.
Exactly. It's the perfect blend of creative energy, local traditions, and the warmest bunch of people you'll ever meet. Everyone's got a story about how they discovered Key West, and they stick around because there's so much more beneath the surface than just beaches. We have that historical layer, the unique architecture, the vibrant LGBTQ+ community, the conch-style homes, the unpretentious restaurants. There's something magical about it all.
I think it's partly that no one ever really hurries here. The idea of island time is real. You can wake up with a beautiful sunrise, stroll around with your coffee, then maybe pop into a local gallery or watch a comedic show by midday. By the time the sun sets, you can switch into nightlife mode with a tropical drink in hand and live music greeting you on almost every corner. It's the best of both worlds. Easygoing and lively all at once.
Absolutely. And I love that you can do as much or as little as you want. If you feel like going all out, you've got half marathons, sailing regattas, festivals galore, a jam-packed entertainment schedule. But if you'd rather just lounge by the pool at the gates, sip a cocktail at Sunset Pier, or nibble on conch fritters from Eaton Street, that's paradise too. And when you're in the mood to explore local history, places like The Lighthouse and Keeper's Quarters or the Hemingway home are right there.
It's a tough place to leave, which explains why so many people end up coming back again and again. I can't wait to see what else is on the horizon this season. I'll probably head out to that Menopause the Musical too, just to experience the comedic vibe, then maybe swing by the Key West Food and Wine Festival to keep that good energy rolling.
Great plan. Maybe throw in a day at the beach if you've got time. Smathers Beach is popular for people watching, or head to Fort Zachary Taylor for a more scenic, natural vibe. And wherever you end up, you'll be within walking distance of some bar with live music or a seafood shack calling your name. That's the Key West hallmark. You never have to go far to find something extraordinary.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, folks. See you in paradise.
This has been KeyWestTourist.com's Key West Uncovered, your guide to the heartbeat of paradise. From sunsets to schooners and festivals to flavor-packed feasts, we've loved sharing the magic of the Keys with you. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review to keep the island vibes going. Until next time, keep exploring, keep relaxing, and above all, keep embracing the spirit of Key West.